Welcome, patrons. We are back with the IPE testing results, and I'm sorry that this took me so long, but there was a lot involved in this, which you're going to see. Quick reminder on our sharpness sheet, remember, lower numbers are better. So, what I did is I took the chisel and I tested it, then I smacked it once on a piece of IPE and figured out the difference. After that, I figured out how many swipes it takes to refresh the bevel that it's at. So if it was set at 26 degrees, I sharpened it back up to 26 degrees. I didn't add a micro bevel or anything. That will be in future testing. But I counted how many swipes it took to refresh that edge until we got under 150 sharpness again. And I didn't do that once. I did that a total of 3 times to figure out the average. And I figure that gives us a really good test results. Doing it 3 times and figuring out the average gives us a pretty good answer. But I didn't just do that for one chisel. I did that for all 30 chisels. And I know that that sounds crazy, but it was 100% worth it. So the way that I'm going to break these results down. Now, remember, you have access to this spreadsheet, so you guys can categorize this, sort it however you want to. But the way that I'm breaking this down is I'm going to first look at the difference. The difference is the starting sharpness minus the sharpness after one hit on IPE to give us the difference. So what I looked at is which chisels lost under 50 points of sharpness, highlighted those green. Which ones lost over 500 points of sharpness, highlighted those red. Because what that is telling us is if they lost under 50, they're standing up pretty well. If they lost over 500, they pretty much took edge damage. So that kind of brings us to the next category we're going to look at is how many swipes on the extra coarse stone did it take to bring them back up and remove that edge damage. Any chisel that had to hit the extra coarse stone took edge damage. Like this IBC chisel that you're seeing, that basically looked like Swiss cheese. So that one needed to obviously hit the extra coarse stone. So which ones didn't need to hit the stone, the extra coarse at all, highlighted those green. The ones that had to do over 50 swipes on the extra coarse stone, highlighted those red. Now, for the extra fine stone, some of these chisels didn't need to go to extra coarse at all. Meaning, okay, they lost some of their edge, maybe it folded, but it didn't actually take damage or chipping. So that way they could stay on the extra fine stone and not have to go to the extra coarse. But some of them didn't need to hit extra fine at all. So we highlighted those ones green. Some of them were over 100 swipes on the extra fine stone, highlighted those red. Some of these chisels didn't need to hit either stone and only had to hit the strop. In my opinion, those ones are like the bonus chisel because I love being able to just hit the strop and get back to work versus having to hit the stones again. So the ones that didn't need to hit the stones and only needed to hit the strop, those got highlighted green. For the red categories, the ones that needed to hit the stones and then the strop, I didn't feel like highlighting those at all because I feel like after you hit the stones, you have to hit the strops anyway, so those ones I just kind of left as is. But what I did is I turned this into a point system. So the ones that were highlighted green got 1 point for every single green they had. The ones with red got 1 point for every single red they have. And I did that for all of the chisels to give us a good idea of which ones were performing better, which ones were performing worse, and which ones were kind of mediocre. But I really only care about the ones that did really good and the ones that did really bad. So I went back through and highlighted the ones that did really good in a brighter green and the ones that did really bad in a brighter red or darker red. I don't know. So that kind of gives us a really good answer there of which ones to, kind of avoid and which ones to look at purchasing if you're looking at purchasing chisels. But I want to know which one was the best of the best and the worst of the worst. So going back to our difference category, the Derek's crank neck did the worst on the difference, meaning they lost the most sharpness out of all the other chisels. Then I wanted to look at the best, which one lost the least amount of their edge out of all of the other chisels, and that was the Ashley Isles. Next, we wanted to see which one took the longest to refresh that edge. IBC took the cake there. That thing was a pain to get back up to sharp. Then, which ones didn't need any stones, only needed the strop, and didn't need that many swipes on the strop, and there's your winners there. So that brings us to our worst of the worst, which is the IBC butt chisel. That was the 2-inch one. And then the Ashley Isles is the best of the best. Now you might be saying, okay, well that IBC butt chisel, that's 2 inches. That's why it performed so bad. But if you look at our sheet here, the Veritas is also a 2-inch and it performed mediocre. And then our best chisel was a 1-inch. So you would think then it would be these smaller chisels performing better, but that's not the case either, because the 1/4 inch IBC did really bad, where the 1/4 inch file did really good. So we can't say that width of these chisels had a big effect on the results of this either, because they really are all across the board. So then I wanted to look at metal type. Maybe it's metal type that's kind of determining this factor. So let's look at O1. O1, 2 did good, 1 did bad. CRV or CV, I'm not exactly sure if those are exact metal types, but when I do when I do the big video, I'll make sure that I have that figured out, but I'm going to categorize them as the same right now. We had 1 good, 1 bad. Then look at A2. We had 2 good and 2 bad. So really, the results of metal type were 50-50. If you have O1, it might do good, it might do bad. A2 might do good, might do bad. So it could be determined by the heat treating process, which is also something that I'm eventually going to test out, is how is the blue spruce A2 versus Lie-Nielsen A2 versus IBC A2, which we kind of have some of those results here. So then let's look at bevel angle, because that's something we commonly hear, that the higher the angle, the more edge resistance it has, or I guess less chance of damaging the edge. And that is kind of holding true here. So what I want to do next is test the IBC chisels at 30 degrees and see if that makes a difference in the results or how well they perform. Same with maybe like the Lie-Nielsen and the blue spruce. I'll bump them down to 25 and see how they perform to give us better results on bevel angles and how that kind of compares to metal types, because that's the next thing that I looked at here. So looking at O1, the ones that were at 30 degrees did really good. The ones that were at 25 degrees did not do good. Then looking at CRV, we had a 20 degree did really well, and a 25 degree did really bad. So that doesn't line up there for me. But then looking at A2, the 30 degree did well, the 25 did not do well. But those 25 degree ones were the same type. It was IBC. So if I was smart, what I would have done is changed one of these IBCs to a 30 degree and tested it from the beginning that way, but I didn't. So I am going to go back and do that. The last couple things I want to point out here. So the Japanese chisels did really, really well at holding their edge against this IPE. Then we also had some vintage ones that did really good holding their edge against this. The Union really surprised me. Sweetheart Everlasting, that's the 750s. I kind of expected that because people rant and rave about how awesome their chisels are. Clearly they are, but so was that Union, which was, again, surprising to me. I think the cheapest one we have, I haven't looked at price yet, but I think the cheapest one we have is that Holtefors chisel with the holster. That did phenomenal in this test as well, which was also very surprising. Then let's look at the ones that were kind of mediocre, the ones that still kind of did good but didn't perform well enough to make it in the top and didn't perform bad enough to make it in the bottom. They all still seem like pretty good chisels, especially the ones that didn't need to hit either stone and just the strop. And honestly, even the ones that had to hit the extra fine stone, I don't see it as that bad. The ones that needed to hit the extra coarse stone, they didn't need a lot of swipes at all. So I still think these chisels performed pretty well. But overall, again, just to review, our winner is the Ashley Isles and our loser is the IBC. If you want to mess around with all of these results or you want to dive into them any farther, remember you have access to that spreadsheet. If you lost access to it, just shoot me an email and I'll send it over to you guys so you guys can play with the numbers as well. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use these. So I'm going to take the chisels and clear out like a little recess for a hinge and see how they hold up their edge into that kind of operation, which is also going to tell me how comfortable they are. And then when I sharpen those ones back up to get them under 150 sharpness, I am going to make a micro bevel on them. So right now we've already seen how long does it take to refresh a current edge. The next one is going to be how long does it take to refresh a new edge. So I hope you guys enjoyed. You got any questions, any comments, anything like that, feel free to let us know down below and have a good day.